I work mainly as a dendrologist and arborist. Over the last 2 years, I have dreamed about getting involved as a volunteer into community tree inventory in my hometown. So it was my dream. It's been my dream for almost 2 years. And then I found the information about Mapa Drzew Polski, the map of Polish trees. It turned out that everyone can join, that you can apply and have your city, your town involved in that project, and have your own map of city trees, of urban trees prepared. You can have your own website with your own local trees. So that was the moment when I thought, wow, that may be a great thing to do in my hometown, where, as I have observed over the last few years, there is little knowledge about what trees we have in my hometown. For example, when a tree is felled, when it's removed, people wonder, well, but why? Do we remember what it looked like before? Do we remember if it really had some defects that could have been dangerous to the public? Like, nobody knows anything. So I thought there's so I thought that it might be a good idea to do a community inventory of trees, because cities usually don't have enough money, enough funds, enough people to do the inventory of all the trees in the city by themselves. So that was how I got involved. However, when it comes to the project itself, as far as I know, it was developed around the time of the pandemics, and its main purpose was to monitor new plantings, which, as my predecessor has already said and pointed out, there is a huge problem with new plantings. They die very often, very soon, after 1 year, 2 or 3 years, either because of unfavorable conditions in which they were planted, or because of inadequate watering, inadequate care. There are many different reasons for that, and the purpose of the project was to monitor those trees so that we know what's happening with them. So that's basically the story, as far as I know, of the Citizens Tree Inventory project. Now, as it has already been said, so the question that we can ask is, why should we even care about that? Patryk Nowakowski has already answered that question by mentioning the environmental benefits that trees give us, like, for example, the fact that they improve air quality by, for example, especially in the winter, by absorbing small pollution particles. And whilst the large pollution particles stay on the leaves or on the branches, trees store carbon dioxide in their tissues. They also stabilize the ground, and this by preventing also prevent erosion. So this is quite important when we talk about trees in the context of recent floodings. So this is one thing, that they stabilize the ground. The other thing is that they also play a role in water management, since they reduce stormwater runoff. So this is also important during heavy rainfall, as it happened a few days ago in Poland. They also reduce noise, they produce oxygen. These are the things which are quite obvious. And now, the aim of the project was also to increase public awareness of why trees are important.
May I interrupt you, Magdalena, because we see all the time the first slide. Is it correct?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay.
Because I have not gone into the next one yet.
Okay.
So this will be, that was a short introduction about trees and why they are important. But now I will move to the project, the Citizens Tree Inventory. And its purpose was to involve citizens in tree care. Tree care, maybe it's not the perfect phrase, in tree protection. Because the more we know about trees, the better we can protect them. The more we know about our local trees, the better we can protect our local trees. So the question is, why do we want people to get involved? So, as I've already said, we want to increase the possibility of inventorying trees. As it has been said, cities are not able to do everything. So involving citizens can be beneficial, and not only for citizens themselves, but the data collected by volunteers can also be used by municipalities. The project, since it involves volunteer work, fosters community cooperation, and what else? It integrates people around one specific topic, in this case, trees. It also is very educational, since volunteers learn a lot about trees. They learn how to identify different tree species. They learn more about how trees are built, what terminology is used to describe trees. They become better able to recognize certain defects in trees that maybe can pose a threat to the public, or they learn how to recognize the trees that are sick. Besides, the project also allows us to monitor new plantings. That's as it has been its primary focus. It also helps citizens when they need to select trees, correct trees for planting. So there is the bank of trees, and this idea helps people to choose the right species for the right place. What else? Apart from learning more about trees, we can also involve more people in the project, and not only by making them volunteers, but also by, for example, inviting them to some ecological walks, which are combined with tree inventories. Okay. So basically, the map of trees is a database of trees. The data is entered into the system by volunteers. There is an administrator that there is an administrator, right? The person who monitors everything that is happening in the given area, in the given map, and they can approve or reject a given tree if they see, of course, some problems with it, with the data. But generally, the data, when it's entered into the app by volunteers. The other parties that are involved in the project around the database are also external companies which help in the maintenance of the database. The database or the results of it are made available to the public. So the map of trees, of inventoried trees, is available to everyone. So everyone can take a look on the website of the map of trees and see which trees have been inventoried, and they can check various data that have been entered, like, for example, the species, the circumference of the trunk, it's the height of the tree, if it has been entered, because this is not obligatory as far as I remember. They can check, they can see the photo of the tree, and many other information. And the information which is quite important and which is calculated automatically in the app is related to the ecological environmental benefits of trees. So this is one example of how the database can be used. It can be used just by people to check the data. To check the information on trees, but it can also be used by municipal administration offices. So it can be helpful for the people who professionally deal with trees. The data can also be used by specialists, like some inspectors, either arborists or construction inspectors. I suppose there are many different examples of people who may use such data. So what does the app involve? So first of all, it's the entering of data by volunteers. Another thing that can be done using the app is the so-called visual tree assessment, which consists in assessing the current health state of the tree. So volunteers who enter the data on the tree can also report some problems which the tree is facing, like, I don't know, for example, excessive pruning, if it has been cut too much, if it has been damaged in any way. If its trunk is leaning, or if the leaves are scarce and there is very little of them. So all of these features of trees can be also recorded in the app. The app can be used for entering new plantings and information about them, about the date of planting, about the condition of the planted tree. It can be used to monitor the new planting so that you can come back to the newly planted tree after, for example, half a year and compare the previously entered data with the current data, with what you can see, and add new data into the app. What's important, as I've already said, the data is available to everyone. You can generate QR codes for every tree from the app, and also you can generate PDF documents based on the data available in the system. And the data can be also exported to many formats. Here are some numbers. You can see that at the time when the presentation was created, there were more than 22,000 inventory trees. And we had almost 200 volunteers. The app has been used in 34 applications. When it comes to the system itself, we have the map of trees in Poland, so it's a map of all trees in Poland. And there are also local maps. So every city which applies for having such a map created has its own website and its own system where volunteers from the given place can enter data on trees from the given city. There's also a tree avenue map. This is something new, and I don't know much about that, so let's move to another slide. Here is a very short example of what entering data into the app looks like. So first, you usually have that app on your phone or on a tablet, and you go into the field with it. There, in the first step, you locate the tree on the map and place a point on the map. If necessary, if the location is slightly incorrect, you can always move the place, move that point to another position. After locating the tree, you can select the tree species. You can select, enter the location of the tree and the circumference of the tree at the breast height, that is at 130 centimeters. After that, you are asked to turn on your camera and take a photo of the tree. You can also download the photo from your phone, for example, if you've taken it earlier. Then you can edit the tree details or add a new tree. As regards tree details, there are lots of options. So you can add, for example, the height of the tree, the crown diameter, the geographical coordinates. However, it's usually done automatically. You can add a planting date, a date of removal or failure of the tree, more tree photos also. What else? You can also add the information about the defects of the tree and about the diseases it has been affected with. You can also add the information that it's been marked as a monumental tree. This may also be quite important. What else? The data is stored in the system in such a way that it can be shared between different applications or different softwares or different systems. So it can be made available to other institutions, for example, or organizations. as an organization. There are those who create the people who have created the map organize lots of conferences, and they also organize workshops for volunteers, and not only for volunteers. They also cooperate with scientists to make sure that the map is properly developed, and that it's always that it always works well. So how much time do I have left?
2 minutes, Magdalena.
2 minutes. Okay. So just to finish up, I wanted to say that in my opinion, it's a great way to involve people and volunteers into such operations, into not only inventorying trees, but also in getting involved in ecological activity. And it's also a great way of increasing people's awareness, because it's not only the people who are volunteers who become more aware of trees, but also their friends, their colleagues may gain more knowledge just because their friends talk about that. And you can organize meetings of volunteers or potential volunteers, for example, in social media. So this is this is my plan for the next month, I think, to try to organize such a meeting for people from my hometown. Just to gather some volunteers. I already know that there are people interested in that. So I hope it will work out, and I hope the project will develop not only in my hometown and the cities which have already been involved in it, but also in many other towns.